the news on STEM Radio Vision, Elisha. First, the headlines. Electricity subsidy nears 2 trillion naira yearly. Jonathan pledged active role in PDP, says Turaki. Traditional worshippers host 2026 Isheshe prayer session, seeks divine guidance for Ocean States. AFCON 2025 quarter-final fixtures, date, time, and venue. Saudi-led coalition claims limited strikes against separatists in Yemen. Now on the news in full, I am Chidima Abel. Amid the struggles to pay the over 4 trillion naira debts owed to power generation companies, the federal government incurred a total of 1.98 trillion naira in electricity subsidy obligations in 12 months, from October 2024 to September 2025. This was according to the quarterly report released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. In the fourth quarter of 2024, covering October to December, the electricity subsidy incurred by the government was 471 billion naira. It was 536 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025 and 514 billion naira in the second quarter of last year. The latest report from NAC released on Tuesday showed that the federal government incurred a power subsidy burden of 458 billion naira in the third quarter of 2025 as electricity tariffs remain below cost reflective levels, making a total of 1.98 trillion naira in the 12-month period from October 2024 to September 2025. NAC stated in its report that in the absence of cost-reflective tariffs, the government undertook to cover the resultant gap between the cost-reflective and allowed tariffs in the form of tariff subsidies. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has pledged to take a more active role in the activities and affairs of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, ahead of the 2027 general elections, according to the party's national chairman, Tanimu Turaki. Turaki disclosed this while addressing journalists after a closed-door meeting with the former president in Abuja on Tuesday. Turaki arrived at Jonathan's Maitama office alongside the entire National Working Committee, former governors, founding fathers, and a few selected state chairmen at about 5:45 p.m. in 6 SUVs. The meeting lasted about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Last year, it was rumored that Jonathan would seek re-election in 2027 after the PDP zoned its presidential ticket to the south. The rumored re-election ambition sparked legal debate on Jonathan's eligibility to run. The ex-president was, however, mum, neither confirming nor denying the presidential ambition. Traditional worshippers across Ocean State on Tuesday held a special Isheshe prayer session to herald the new year 2026, offering supplications for peace, stability, and sustained development in the state, with Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke assuring them of his administration's continued respect for all faith and support for indigenous traditions. Governor Adeleke, who addressed the gathering, expressed delight at being among traditional worshippers, apologizing for his absence at various prayer sessions, while reaffirming his deep regard for people of all faith, including adherents of Isheshe. He acknowledged the consistent prayers and spiritual support of traditional worshippers, noting that despite his past non-attendance, the government was always duly represented at such gatherings. The governor attributed the successes recorded by his administration across critical sectors to divine guidance and interfaith prayers, stressing that Osun State would overcome its challenges through unity and the powerful Olodumare. He assured that his government would not regress, would continue to deliver people-oriented governance, and would resist forces of oppression and underdevelopment, adding that Osun was firmly on the path to progress and prosperity. And now on the sports scene, the quarter-final lineup for the Total Energies Cup Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 is now clearer following Algeria's qualification after their round of 16 victory over DR Congo on Tuesday. 7 out of 8 nations have already qualified for this round of the continent's greatest tournament. Algeria edged DR Congo 1-0 after extra time in Rabat, with substitute Anis Boubina scoring the decisive goal in the 119th minute to see their place in the last 8. The win set up a quarter-final clash against Nigeria. Nigeria had earlier secured their quarter-final ticket on Monday night with a convincing 4-0 win over Mozambique as Victor Osimhen scored twice to end the Super Eagles' tour. And now on the foreign scene, a Saudi-led coalition said on Wednesday that it had undertaken limited preemptive strikes in Yemen to stop UAE-backed separatists from expanding the conflict. The separatists seized large swathes of Yemeni territory last month, including much of Hadramawt province, bordering Saudi Arabia, expelling Saudi-backed government forces. Meanwhile, last week, airstrikes from the Saudi coalition in a counter-offensive on the ground pushed back the separatists. The coalition said on Wednesday that it had carried out new strikes in an effort to prevent separatist leader Aidoras Azubidi from escalating the conflict and extending it to Adhal Governorate. And now to end the news, here is a recap of our stories. We told you that amid the struggles to pay over the 14 trillion naira debts owed to power generation companies, the federal government incurred a total of 1.9 trillion naira in electricity subsidy obligations in 12 months. We also told you that former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has pledged to take a more active role in the activities and affairs of the People's Democratic Party ahead of the 2027 general elections, according to the party's national chairman, Tanimu Turaki. Traditional worshippers across Osun State on Tuesday held a special Isheshe prayer session to herald the new year 2026. The quarter-final lineup for the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 is now clearer following Nigeria's qualification after their round of 16 victory over DR Congo on Tuesday. Lastly, we told you that a Saudi-led coalition said on Wednesday that it had undertaken limited preemptive strikes in Yemen. That ends the news on STM Radio Vision, Elisha, Osun State, Nigeria. The news was edited by Afolabi Adenikwekun and was brought to you by Chidima Abel. Thanks for listening. Good morning.